Why does your dog greet you like you've been gone forever, while your cat sometimes doesn't even bond? But the truth is that this idea is both true and false at the same time. Dogs and cats came to humans through completely different paths, and that explains why one kind of love looks loud and obvious, while the other looks quiet and almost invisible. By the end of this video, it will be clear why dogs really do seem more openly loving, but that does not mean cats feel less. Dogs seem to love more because they show affection in ways humans instantly understand. We naturally read love through visible behaviors. Excited greetings, the desire to stay close, eye contact, responding to our voice, and following us around the house. And dogs do all of that much more often. They greet us with joy, watch our faces closely, look for praise, want to stay near us, and often build their whole day around their owner. To a human, that feels like warm, obvious, unmistakable love. Cats show affection differently. They may not create an emotional show, but they still choose to be near us, sleep beside us, quietly follow us from room to room, or simply stay nearby. The problem is that people often do not recognize those signals as love. We assume that if emotions are not shown clearly, they must be weaker. But maybe we have just been reading the language of cats the wrong way. To understand that difference, we need to go back thousands of years. Dogs became this way because of evolution alongside humans. Their ancestors were social animals, and cooperation was essential for survival. The dogs that understood human signals better, feared contact less, and joined shared activity more easily had an advantage. They could find food near humans, receive protection, and slowly become part of a new environment. Over time, this turned into a deep bond. Hunting together, guarding, and living side by side made human contact not just useful, but vital. Gradually, humans became something like the center of the dog's social world. That is why modern dogs are so good at reading our gestures, voices, tone, and mood. This is the secret behind canine loyalty. A dog does not just live next to a person. It is evolutionarily tuned to seek contact, cooperate, and orient itself around humans. For dogs, closeness is not just a personality trait, it is one of the foundations of their behavior. Cats developed in a very different way. Their ancestors were solitary hunters. They did not need to live in tight groups, seek constant approval, or depend on teamwork to survive. When humans began storing grain, rodents appeared nearby, and cats followed the rodents. Living near humans was useful, but humans did not become the center of a cat's social life in the same way. Cats kept much more of their independence. They did not need to completely change their nature in order to live alongside people. That is why they are still more self-directed, more selective about contact, and less likely to express emotion openly. But that does not mean cats love us less. It only means their path toward humans was different. If dogs build connection through cooperation and constant social contact, cats build it through trust, safety, and chosen closeness. So does that mean cats feel less? Science says no. Research shows that dogs form strong attachment bonds with humans and often treat their owner as a source of safety, support, and direction. That is why they so eagerly seek eye contact, physical closeness, and shared activity. Their bond with humans is usually open and easy to see. But cats can form deep emotional bonds too. They just express them in less obvious ways. Cats often choose specific people they feel calm around. In stressful situations, they may look for a familiar human, prefer that person over strangers, sleep close, rub against them, slow blink, bring toys, or quietly stay nearby when they feel comfortable. This is where one of the biggest myths falls apart. Cats are not indifferent. They simply do not make their love dramatic. A dog's attachment is usually loud. A cat's attachment is quiet. And if you measure love only by visible emotion, the dog will almost always seem more loving. But that is not a fair comparison. To understand your pet better, it is important to stop comparing cats and dogs directly. In dogs, signs of love are usually easy to spot. Excited greetings, tail wagging, following you, wanting to play, watching your face, and looking for approval. In cats, the signs are different. Choosing your lap, sleeping next to you, rubbing their head against your hand, slow blinking, waiting in the same room, or silently following you through the house. It may not look as dramatic as a dog's behavior, but this is how a cat shows trust and affection. When people expect dog-like emotion from a cat, they almost always end up thinking the cat is cold. But once they understand that a cat simply loves in a different way, the relationship becomes much deeper. Real understanding begins when we stop demanding another species' language. But there is one more important detail. Not all dogs are equally emotional, and not all cats are equally reserved. Some cats are incredibly affectionate, social, and deeply attached. Some dogs are calm, independent, and less expressive. Behavior depends not only on species, but also on personality, experience, socialization, upbringing, and the way the animal is treated. That is why one of the biggest mistakes owners make is judging all pets by one personal example. One distant cat does not mean all cats are indifferent. One highly emotional dog does not mean every dog will be the same. Wrong expectations can easily damage the relationship. When people do not understand an animal's nature, they start seeing rejection where there is only caution, or lack of love where there is simply a different style of attachment. So, why do dogs love humans more than cats do? The most honest answer is this. Dogs really do show love more openly, and that is why they seem more loving to us. Their evolution made them more socially focused on humans, more ready for cooperation, and more expressive in their attachment. But that does not mean cats love less. Cats can also form deep emotional bonds, they just express them in a quieter, more selective, and more restrained way. Love cannot be measured only by excitement or emotional intensity. The main idea is simple. A dog may seem to shout its love, while a cat seems to whisper it. But both can be completely real. And true understanding of a pet begins when we learn to hear its language. Now write in the comments, how does your pet show that it loves you? It is especially interesting if your cat or dog has a very unusual habit. If this video helped you see cats and dogs in a new way, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Here we explore animal psychology, scientific facts, and the most fascinating differences between cats and dogs in a simple and engaging way.